Well, welcome everybody to our Feminine Wisdom Circle. It's officially starting. The July session, and I'm Laura Rubenstein. And with me today is Vasi.
Hi,
And
everyone.
yeah, we're super excited to share with you this time. And it's a really special time for women coming together to create change. It's happening. We're seeing it happen. It's always been a vision of mine, and there's some momentum happening, which is super exciting. I'm hearing. So welcome in. And my intention for today, for our time together, is really that we create a sacred space for women to connect to, and women leaders who are really steeped in wisdom, to access this juicy feminine energy that we don't spend a lot of time with. Some of us may more than others, but this is a way for us to do it consciously and collectively, collaboratively. So when you do that, and when we do that, our goal is for each of us to have more flow in our lives, integrate our feminine and more so into our life, so we have more balance and we experience less stress. We rejuvenate our souls and we elevate harmony in both our life and on the planet. And my favorite phrase is, we all up our joy. So here's to upping joy. Up your joy. I like to
That's
say.
great, Laura. And I just wanted to add, everyone, my heart is so happy that you're here. Each one of you is here. And the magical thing about these gatherings each month is there's a unique group that shows up every time. And so there's a purpose in that. And it's just always so special. So thank you for coming today. And we can hardly wait to connect with you at an even deeper level.
Yeah, and welcome, Kylie. I know you came in as I was speaking, so we're glad you're here. And Francesca. Um, so I think the next part is where we're going to get centered, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to turn that over to you, Vasi, because I love when you do
Yes.
that.
So I'm just going to invite each one of you to, if you're comfortable and you're not driving, to close your eyes. I'm going to lead you in a little guided centering. And I never know what it is. So I'm just going to tune into the energy and see what it is that your heart and your souls and your bodies are wanting in this centering. So taking a moment to put your feet on the ground, take a deep breath in. And on the out breath, just let go of anything, any distracting thoughts. Let's start with the mind first, letting go of anything that's weighing on your mind, anything you should have done or did do, or anything like that that's a distraction, busy mind. Let's take another breath and putting your hand over your heart. Just take a moment as you breathe out just to feel into that heart space. And take a moment to appreciate yourself for how you showed up today, something you did, some quality that you embodied or expressed, maybe a word or a um, gratitude that you gave to someone. Just notice. Take a moment to notice in your day. I'm going to pause here and give you a chance to feel gratitude for something you did or who you were. Beautiful. And then you can leave your hand on your heart or you could place it in your lap. And in the next breath, just gather up any tightness or constriction in your body. And on the out breaths, just let go. Maybe let your shoulders drop a little bit. Sink maybe more into your pelvis, your legs, your hips where they're touching your chair or wherever you're sitting. And then wiggling your toes on the ground. And just connecting even to a deeper awareness to the ground, the earth below your feet. And feeling a sense of being nurtured and supported. And allow that earth energy, to the extent that is in your highest good, that earth energy to come up through your feet, the perfect frequency, the perfect amount, the perfect pacing, and just coming up through your body. And as that wonderful earth energy comes up, take a moment to just allow and receive. And this is a perfect opportunity to set your dial as if you have a dial, just to allow yourself to receive in our time together. And as earth energy comes up through your legs, your hips, just keep breathing, expanding, releasing anything that's not in your highest good for our time together. And then I'm seeing this energy. It's almost like a waterfall coming up through your bodies, coming up through the crown of your head, and then spilling over. And at the same time, it rejuvenates and it just clears anything that's in the way of being present and sharing your heart and your truth and your insights and your wisdom with us. So each of you is sitting in a fountain of clear light, the light of your wisdom, the light of your heart, the light of your soul. And then in your vision, your inner vision, or just feeling it or knowing it, see us all sitting in a circle with these beautiful fountains of light, with each one of us emanating from our heart, spilling over a crown, just beautiful, radiant white light around each one of you. And as we're sitting in the circle, just take a moment just to feel each other's energy, connect with each other's presence. And Laura and I welcome you. We welcome each of you, and you have an opportunity to welcome and honor each other in this space. And so with that, I invite you to take one more breath, consciously, fully, and when you're ready, coming back to the space and time where you're sitting and opening our circle to the power of intention in relationships and our theme. And in this quiet space, before we say anything, I just invite you to put your hand on your heart and feel into your intention for our time together. And just anchor that in for yourself. What is it that you came for, that you're hoping to receive or to leave with? And then just knowing that it's already there for each one of you. I'm going to turn this back over to Laura.
So beautiful. If a word came to you, feel free to write it down or just kind of sit with it. We're going to use that word as a way of introduction. So we want and welcome in, while we were doing the centering, Deborah and Nikki and Linda. We're glad you're here. So thanks. So this is a interactive session. If you can't talk or anything, if you could at least let us know in the chat the answers to this question, or let us know that you're just listening in today, that's fine. But we'd love to, this is the feminine, we're playing in it together. So what we want to do is go around and have you say your name, your location, and a sentence about what you're up to in the world, most passionate about, or what you do, and share the word or phrase that came to you that represents your intention. And so I'll start as an example. I'm Laura Rubenstein. I do these gatherings and with Vasi, and do the Spalicious retreat, as well as the Ignite Your Feminine Soul Play Shop, which we just concluded our previous one last week. And I'm also a digital marketer. Many of you know me as that, but this is my passion work. The word or phrase that came to me was reset, like reconnect, reset to that feminine energy. So I'm just going to go around the screen here. The way you are on my screen may not be on yours. I've got Deanna, and then Carrie, Tia, and Therese, Deborah, Sylvia, Jessica. You don't have to remember this. Linda, Nikki, Francesca, Kylie. If you all are participating. So Deanna, hi.
Of course, I am. I am the first one, right? I am here I'm here to support you guys. Like I wanted to know what this is all about. And in the intention is kind of discover what is the passion. It's like my passion keeps changing. And so a discovery, it's what came up for me. And I live in San Diego. What else did I need to say?
What are you up to in the world? And it's in the chat too. So in case
Oh,
you're
thank you. What
yeah.
am I up to in the world? See, my passions keep changing. So healing the soul, healing. That's what I'm most passionate about.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Carrie.
I am in Northern California, just above Sacramento, and what came to me was not what I can walk away with, but what I can leave. I think I've been about what I walk away with too much, and this last year I have been more about what peace can I leave with others. So that's really more of my focus. I have not embraced my feminine. Being in a man's world was all I wanted to do and compete in that. And so it meant leaving women behind in so many ways. So this has been a journey for me to, as much as I have belonged to women's groups, right, Laura, been around them, I don't know that I have done it well because I don't know that I have wanted to fit. So now I am learning how to do that.
Welcome in. Beautiful. I agree. Thank you. And hi, Tia.
Hello, my name is Tia. I am just outside of Houston, Texas, and I spend a lot of my time as a spiritual teacher, a mentor, a guide, and a companion. I spend a lot of time also in my masculine energy because I am leading things. The word that came up for me is presence, which is what I intend to do, is be present here at this time. And I also want to apologize because I do know I'll have to leave early because I'm also a mother to a teenager who has a more active social life than I do. So thank you for having me here.
We're glad to have your presence here for as long as you can be here. Thank you. Therese, hi, welcome. Good to see you.
And mute. Hi, girls. So I'm in gloriously sunny Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm a native, which is really weird. So I've got lots of sunspots on me from all the sun here. I call myself the intuitive business mentor. So I was a psychotherapist, then I moved into business coaching. And along the way, I discovered this crazy, wonderful, wild, intuitive gift I have. So now to lend all those. What's lighting me up is reinvention. In fact, Laura was on a summit. I did a summit a couple months ago about business reinvention summit. And so many of the women that I'm playing with and support, we've all gone through stuff, and the world is different today and our priorities are different today. And I think there's not space in the marketplace that handles that well. So I'm excited about that. That's really what I'm up to. And my word, it was light. And because you're supposed to come to networking things and have an agenda. And I'm like, so my word is I will be the light and I will reflect your light to you. That was super clear for me. So
Beautiful. Thank you.
sure.
Yeah. And hi, Deborah. Great to see you.
Great to be here. Definitely great to be here. So I'm Deborah Valentina. and I am in San Diego, La Jolla specifically, La Jolla UTC area. And what I do, I'm in it for a very long time, an intuitive, holistic, and coach, and also a writing coach, and specifically for women entrepreneurs. And I absolutely love what I do, and I've been doing it for many years, over 30 years. And the word that came to me was magnetize. And you know, I was sitting here with what does that mean? And it's really magnetizing uh, everything, but specifically magnetizing those who I can help, those women who I can help. And so rather than pounding the pavement, as my dad used to say, I just would like to magnetize who who could specifically use my services. Yeah.
Magnetize. Love it. Sylvia, hi, welcome back.
Hi, good afternoon, ladies. My name is Sylvia and I live in Tijuana and have lived most of my life in San Diego, but I'm in Tijuana now. And the word that came to me was feminine focus and alchemy. I like how you led that, Laura, saying the word reset, right? And I agree with you. I think that we're at a very interesting time. And personally, I feel like I've had a lot of transformative experiences. Vasi has been my personal intuitive coach and guide, and has helped me on my path. And yeah, I just feel like there's this really strong, forceful energy, feminine energy coming together, almost like moving through a new portal. And so I'm excited to focus. I'm at a crossroad right now where the company that I've been working with in renewable energy is coming to an end. And so I'm in a new transition, and I'm excited about it. I just came back from a 30-day sabbatical, and so I feel re-energized, refocused, and excited, and very inspired. And so the timing of this feminine gathering is perfect for me, just to really feel everybody's really positive and strong energy. Thank you for opening up this space, Vasi and Laura.
Thank you for being here. Jessica, you're up on my screen next.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jessica. I'm in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. A little bit smoky around here, but it's all right. Yikes. Yeah, thank you, Vasi, for leading that. It's so good, the centering here. And the words really that you started with, Laura, were just incredible. So what's up on deck for my passion project right now is I am part of a motorcycle road racing association here. And I'm going to be teaching the race school on Thursday night and Friday during the day before our big race weekend, Saturday, Sunday. So I'm very excited about that. It's a group of 22 guys and one gal, and the rest of the association are dudes. So I like to bring my own masculine energy that I always have, but also I bring a lot of feminine energy into the group. So because I had a few things that are deadlines that are pressing, what came to me today was flow and release. Because I find that sometimes if I get a little bit overwhelmed, I get a little bit paralyzed. I don't have time for that. Yeah.
Beautiful. And Linda, would you like to share next?
Okay. Can you unmute me because I'm not used to doing this on my phone?
You're not muted.
Oh, really? Oh, sorry about that. Well, I missed the meditation. So I got the in part, but I did think of my word while everybody was sharing. And mine is commitment and faith, faith and trust. And for 25, 26 years, I've had a full-time living with integrative core healing and modern shamanism. And the last 4 years, I've started a school teaching other people to do this work and the integrative energy healing training. And finishing my book, Heal the Judgment Monster, all while healing from major two heart surgeries and all this stuff. So I had extreme fatigue, but I'm healthier now. So commitment has been a part of me, but I'm up leveling it. And that trust is because to trust and keep choosing to be willing, no matter how things go, such as in my computer just died 3 days ago. But, I'm in trust, and it may be a lot of work I wasn't planning to do, but it just is what it is. And so that's what I'm up to, the commitment, next level of commitment, trust, and faith, that I can create this organization that not only is teaching others, but helping other people to build their practice. And together we all together help make a greater difference in the world. And while also having a balanced life and having fun dancing.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. Francesca, are you present and wanting to share?
Yeah, sure, I'm here. My word that came up was importance, importance, and it seems to be the theme for this week. I'm starting a new venture with biofeedback, and it's an incredible system, and I've had some struggles with getting it recognized and trusting that people will understand and need the services. And this week it was a stronger feeling to say, yeah, it's important. It's important for people who have so many things going on that it could cover so many bases. And I just have to develop that better, say, promotion or advertising, or collating all the information together for people to understand the extreme benefits of such an amazing process. The latest technology is just amazing, and we're finally getting to use it. So
yay. Well, thank you.
Sure, thank you.
And Kylie, would you like to share? I know in the chat you said your word was love. It's about letting go of the blocks that are stopping yourself in self-love, or stopping self-love in. That's cool. So thank you for sharing that. And welcome back, Nikki. If you want to share, it's perfect timing.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
We can. Thanks.
Oh my goodness, I have no idea what's going on, but we'll just do voice for right now in this moment.
Okay.
Oh, that was, yeah, I don't know what happened. I just, Zoom just disappeared. Anyway, I'm Nikki H. I am based in San Diego in California. I like to say that I inspire creative shenanigans with online and in-person creativity retreats and workshops and challenges. And I also wow and empower with burlesque and Latin dance workshops and shows. And basically my mission in life is to delight and inspire. And I'm a Renaissance woman. I'm a creative mentor, dance coach, fusion dancer, and author, speaker, and an MC. And my word, I'm not quite sure what it is, because it seems to be possibly the word star, possibly the word shine, but maybe even the word starshine. And I don't know what that's about. So I'm just kind of listening, and we'll see what it actually turns out to be.
Wonderful. Oh, well, isn't the energy here great? And welcome, Rena. I know you don't know what we're doing right this second, but you'll just catch the energy. Today's topic is intention, the power of intention. So each of us just shared a word that came to us in Vasi's awesome centering, or right after that. And there's a word that's coming up, and Vasi, maybe you're feeling this too, and maybe everybody is. It's like juicy. There's a lot of juiciness here.
For sure.
There's a lot of light and love and harmony, and so I have this concept called going from silos to synergy, and some of you may have heard it if you've ever heard me talk about this before, been to one of our circles before. But each of us has our passions, right, or our projects, or the things we do in our world. And we have the team, or we have a couple of supports, or maybe we're doing it on our own. And we're in our silo, right? Our little silo. But what happens when we bring our little orbits, I like to call them orbits, together in a place like this? We share just a little bit about them, but now we've all connected to you. We now have this solar system that has a gravitational pull. And so that things can become easier. You get into the flow. Why? Because I'm thinking, Therese, about your work and how it's benefiting other people. And Francesca and the biofeedback, and Nikki, your burlesque and the creative shenanigans, and Carrie, how you're beginning to question the embracing the feminine within what you're doing now. And like we each have these, and Jessica being on stage with the men and bringing light to them, and Diana in her discovery phase. I mean, like, and Tia with your teenager and being more present to the feminine and seeing how things shift with that. And it's just like, and Sylvia, your next phase, and Deborah, all the great work you're doing with the leaders that you work with. And it's just, and Kylie and Francesca and Nikki also, and Rena, what you do with higher education. There's a momentum. And Rena, if you'd like to share, we're sharing your name, your location, what you are up to in the world in one sentence, and a word that represents an intention that you have for yourself. So I'll talk for a couple minutes and you can think about that. And so this silos to synergy is about just connecting and letting in the energy that we co-create together into your life. So the way I do it is I think about you. Well, think about this. I'll send out the replay. You'll think about each other. That's it. It's so sophisticated, but it really is. I mean, in the simplicity, right? Because I've seen it work over and over. You've come here, you've set an intention, and then it happens. It happens. Rena, would you like to share where you're at and what you're up to in the world and an intention?
Yes. Okay. I'm in Los Angeles at the moment, but I live in Nashville, and the word is hypergrowth.
Hypergrowth. Wow. Okay, we just got a whole lot more momentum on our our solar system here. Isn't that great? Yeah. Welcome to the Silos to Synergy Sisters. I like to call us Sisters in Synergy Solar System. Say that 10 times fast.
How appropriate.
Right? Yep. So Vasi, you want to tell people a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah. And I also, go ahead.
And do your intention.
Yeah. So, and I'm really present right now to being with all of you, and just how amazing are we in together, right? I love that synergy that Laura just spoke about. And I just feel like each one of us is amplifying that energy for each other. And so, and I'm all about amplifying, I guess, as a way to start. So what I'm up to in the world is, well, when I'm not doing these feminine retreats and play shops with Laura, I'm an intuitive coach and a mindset mentor and an intuitive artist also. And I work with women, visionaries, business owners that are ready for their next level of impact in the world. And so my word that came to me is allowing. I am in this place of massive allowing right now. Had 3 family members who were in the hospital this past month in July within a period of 2 weeks. And I just noticed how I just went into this place of everything's going to be supported. You know, I'm going to be supported. Everything's just going to work out. They're going to be supported. And then I noticed that shift into my business and my life. And I'm also writing a book, and Deb is my book coach. So great to see you, Deb. And I just noticed that I'm just allowing. I'm allowing inspiration. I'm allowing support. I'm allowing wisdom. I'm allowing energy. I'm allowing physical resources to come to me. So that's my intention for today too, to allow in whatever it is to support all of you and to support our circle today.
Yeah. So since our topic is intention, you might wonder, where did that come from? And many of you know that I'm the creator of the Feminine Power cards. And it's a deck of wisdom cards that have feminine power principles on one side and practices on the other. So the card that we picked for today has to do with intention, of course. And that is, it reads, intention. Yep, there you can. Intention is the most important aspect of your actions. So intention is the most important aspect of your actions. And so we're going to talk about that. And by the way, on the back of each card is a practice. And there's 3 types of practices. One is something to do, one is something to contemplate, and the other is something to affirm. And this has a heart, which means it's something to contemplate. And that has a question for us. And this is a question you can take into your day and night and wherever. What am I putting in the space of relationship? So it could be a relationship with your family, could be a relationship with a partner, a friend, a coworker, a child, a parent, a spouse, significant other. What am I putting in the space of the relationship, this relationship? And it really calls to own what's going on here and then make choices. Are you being the intention you want to be? Are you really? And so that's one of the reasons I chose reset, because there's something I want to reset in what I'm bringing. So it's a really powerful energy, the energy of intention. And Vasi, do you want to say something about intention before we do some breakouts?
I feel like it's been said. I don't have anything to add.
Okay, good. We wanted to do some breakouts today. And how many people do we want to have in each breakout is what we need to talk
Let's see,
about.
we've got 11 people if you and I aren't in. So we could do groups of 3 and then one group of 2.
Sure.
So 3 groups of 3 and then a group of 2. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we are going to go into breakout rooms, and you're going to talk about intention. Share a story. We want you to share a story about an intention you have or an intention you had for a specific relationship or relationships in general. How did it influence that? How did that intention, or how will it influence how you will show up or how you showed up? It could be a future or a past, your choice. And what did you learn about yourself or notice about yourself if in setting this intention and actually holding it? And what do you want to learn if it's something you're going to be doing? That makes sense. I want to put that in the chat. Do you have that to put in the chat by chance?
Yes, except the last one. If you could just read that to me, the last.
Yeah. What did you learn or notice about yourself and others?
Great. Okay. I've got all that in the chat.
Cool. All right. So we lost one person, right? So we now have 10 people. So we'll do 3 rooms of 3 and when you get into the room, choose a timekeeper, and the timekeeper is in charge of 4 minutes a person. And so we're going to be breaking out for about 12 minutes. I'll put a little bit more on there so I'll put 15 minutes on so that you can set a time, so that there's enough time for the last person. Does that make sense?
And so
I have
within
a
each,
question.
oh, go
Yep.
ahead.
So we're tying our intention word that we talked about to relationship, or does it matter what we talked about?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
it doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for clarifying.
But
So I know that Nikki can't talk. She's going to go, she's being assigned a room, but she can't talk. So she'll just listen in. Okay.
and the same with Kylie, if she's still on the call. She's
I
listening in from work.
think.
It looks like
Nikki
maybe
can talk. It was
Kylie's-
Kylie couldn't, right? Nikki, you can talk, I think. Is that right?
I think so. We shall see what happens with my Zoom. That's
Okay.
really what it is.
Okay. So I think I need to create 4 rooms so that, because we have one group with 4 and that won't be, let's see.
And while you're doing that, Laura, do you want me to share an example?
Yeah,
Just
that'd be
using
great.
the question. Okay. So so an intention that I've had in a relationship recently has been with my niece, who's 19. She's home for college break. And I realized that she's finished her freshman year, and I like wanted to be really present to who she is now, not who she's been, not how I know her over the years. And so it's influenced the second question, how did it influence how I showed up? It influenced in that I really listened more to her and asked her questions than talked with her the way I usually do. And so I learned and I noticed about her that she's come into her own feminine power. It's been so incredible just to like witness that. So I feel like I've shown up more as a witness to her as opposed to an aunt or any certain role. And I'm noticing how insightful and intuitive she is. And she's asking me things. And so it's kind of like this, our relationship is shifting because it's more almost a friend relationship than we've had our whole life. I was there with her the moment she was born. So we were quite close. So anyhow, that's how the intention has shifted in our relationship.
Okay, great. And is there anybody here who knows they can't talk? They won't be able to participate. I mean, there are a couple of people like Francesca, you can also share, right? You're happy to share in the room.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. All right. So there'll be, if you have less than 3 people, then break up the time appropriately. So I'm going to do about 14 minutes for y'all. Let's see if I can set that. Breakout rooms close after 14 minutes. You will have a 30-second countdown to that. Okay. Okay, here goes the rooms. Yay, have fun.
So 14 minutes puts us at 5:54 Pacific time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks so much for setting that up, Laura.
Yeah. And Francesca, did you get the notification to go into the room? There you go. Awesome. So I'll put it on pause. Yeah. Welcome back, ladies. All right, everybody's.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite parts. We do this each time we have these gatherings because we find there's a synergy in the people that got matched together, and we don't do it intentionally. Laura just does it, at random. So what we'd love to hear is from each group, have one person or maybe the timekeeper, whoever would like to share with us anything that in about a minute or 2 that stands out to you that you would like to share with the group from the conversation. So whose group would like to go first?
I can go.
Okay. And who is in your group, Deanna?
I'm sorry?
Who is in your group?
Oh, Teresa and
Linda.
Hold on, Linda.
Linda.
Yes.
Oh, great.
And it was a lovely share. We all learned a lot about each other, I think, in how we value relationships and how we stand in the world for the healing of relationships. That was lovely.
I love that, healing in relationships. Yeah. And was there any other like themes or threads as you were talking that you noticed?
Of course, there is a lot of love, there is a lot of light, there is a lot of shedding. I don't know, would you guys like to add any words?
I feel like with all of our stories, we're making choices and we trust and have faith and we're surrendering. And then it comes, right? How we work with intention. There's a lot of like, okay, let them be them. This is what I'm taking a stand for. And you can't control that stuff, right? So that's the surrender aspect.
And also that when we do that, it works out better than we could plan. Like things work out in the relationships, they do get better, but also that we let go and sometimes other people come in to replace it.
Very wonderful. There's like a surrendering, and then there's something even better than we can even imagine. That's what I'm hearing from the themes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you all for sharing.
Does anybody have a hard time with that? Surrendering? Okay, I just want to I think it's great that we brought it up. And, it's something to practice.
Ongoing.
Carrie, did you want to add something?
Our group was it was, the synergy was really quite lovely, and the interesting to hear how intention really resulted in manifesting things coming to them, and how that really worked. I mean, we really got outcomes in our group, and what it did for me was to help solidify the fact that when you truly are energizing your intention, you are getting an outcome or resources coming to you or opening yourself or whichever it is that you're looking for, or all of the above, right? And resources inside, resources outside. And I think we demonstrated that in our circle.
Wonderful. And who else was in the circle?
It was Deborah Valentina, and it was, where are you? Sylvia Mencius.
Beautiful.
And Deborah and Sylvia, do either one of you want to add anything on?
Well, I was just going to add that there's, as you were referring to, there's always synergies with people in the group that, and so one of the synergies is that Sylvia is interested in creating writing workshops for youth at risk. And so we're going to connect on LinkedIn, and I would be happy to help in whatever way I can with that.
Thank you. It's so awesome. Wonderful. I just got goosebumps. That feels like there was some something destined today, and both of you showing up and being in the same group. Wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, and then who's our next group up?
Jessica?
Sure.
So I was private message.
Yeah, I was with Francesca. Sorry, what was that about the private message?
Sorry, I sent Sylvia a private message because I can't connect with her. She asked me to do something and I can't do it. So I just wanted her to know. Apologize.
Worries. Yeah, I think, we were talking about different situations for ourselves, but it all came down to when you're about to set some emotional boundaries, how important your intention is in that process, like even before you start. Whether that be having a difficult conversation or knowing that you're going to come up against a bunch of very interesting energy, So I won't speak into Francesca's situation, but for mine, for example, I'm going to have a room full of people who have no idea who I am, and teaching this motorsport stuff and being physically small. I think it's just so important that you come from a place of humility, as opposed to that place of rah, rah, rah. No, you got to respect me because of all of my, accolades or credentials or anything like that. There's plenty of time to humbly slip those credentials into talking with people without looking like a show off and without turning people off.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Jessica. Francesca, was there anything you'd like to add?
Well, this is the first time I was sharing my situation with somebody, and I was like, Jessica was awesome, giving me some insight. And I'm like, oh wow, I really have to work this out and talk to people. So I come from a place of neutrality versus the irritation that I was feeling.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, get the Italian out of the way and just chill and yeah, I can do this and set my boundaries and yeah, it was really good. She's really really gave me support on that.
Wonderful. Can anyone relate to that piece about setting boundaries and then having that irritation also like in the background? That one really resonated for me. Yeah. Yeah. That's an important one. Thank you both. Humility and then that part of neutrality. I love those two together. Yeah. Great. And then we have, let's see, Rena and Nikki, right? Is that our last group? Which of you would like to share?
Well, I can go first, Nikki. Nikki was just sharing how she was involved with a pretty intense event and that it really was at the same time exhausting. It sounded like it was a really awakening for her, with like just really energized with kind of the strengths that she has. And I think that it replaced some worry, and I just feel like there's something very synergistic to what everybody's saying, is that we have the tools within ourselves to really heal and um to overcome. And so I wanted to acknowledge that for Nikki, because we didn't get a chance to like round out the conversation. But and from my end, I was talking about my relationship and things that I'm learning about myself more so than anything else, and just being really intentional with not repeating old patterns that don't serve me, and learning more about patience and being present. And yeah, that's all I'll say about that, but learning a lot.
Thanks, Serena. Yeah, that is a lot. And Nikki, anything you want to add?
I would just say that I really enjoyed speaking to Rena, just to see how, like, she was very intentional, like when we were talking about the intention and the things that were present for her, just really being intentional about what she was getting into and conversations. And that was just a really beautiful thing for me to also have as a reminder. So it was lovely to have the prompt, but also lovely to have that experience that prompts even more in you from the other person's response to the prompt.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, in some cases there's like a reflection for us, but there's also some new things. We can be inspired in our conversations with others as well. And I'm just, and I'm really present right now to how powerful we are through our intentions. And I just want to encourage each of you to take into your week ahead, your year ahead, whatever, your intentions, and just be willing to be open to that shifting. As long as there's an intention, there's an energy, right? That intention has an energy. And I loved what someone said about energizing our intentions. I think that's so powerful. And that's part of our feminine power that we have behind us through our heart energy too, right? So I'm just seeing a connection through so much of what many of you said. And Laura, was there something you want to add there?
Yeah, what's coming to me is there's like two ways we are using intention. One is ahead of time. Like we kind of did our centering. We say, what do we want to have as our intention as we go into like what this card says, and to you know, what am I putting in the space? What am I willing to put in the space of this relationship? And then see if you can live into that. And then the second part is afterwards, and you say, what was my intention that had this outcome? Like when you take the time to evaluate it, it's like, oh, you know, I had some fears, I had some concerns, and that made me more anxious, or it made me more this or that, you know, like, so we can replay so that we can pre-play in the future something else, or if there, or do it again if we loved it. I shared a story in our play shop that there was an event I went to, and I wasn't feeling all that motivated, and I went into the bathroom and I was in the stall, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to shift the energy here, I'm going to play with this intention thing. And I said, you know what, I am the space of magic happening. I don't know what that looks like, but I kind of gave myself a giggle. I got into that energy, and I opened the door and went into the rest of the bathroom and then out into the hallway, and somebody came running up to me and they're like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in a decade. And we had a big hug, and it was just like magical, right? Then I go into the main event room, and the facilitator asked me to, you know, would you like to go on stage? And I was like, oh my God, sure. You know, like, and share stuff. So it was all magical. And then I got a client, and it was so cool. So that is the power of intention. When we kind of do it just energetically, not like, oh, I need to figure it out and I've got to do it this way. No, play with it. Play with it. So we invite you to play with intention. And we have just we want to play more with you. So we have 3 things to end today with, 3 little next steps, or actually 4. One is, please come back, you're on our list and so you'll get the invitation for the August 26th Zoom of our next Feminine Wisdom Circle. It'll be, this time it'll be an hour earlier at 4 p.m. Pacific. We wanted to do that because people on the East Coast, it won't be as late for them. And we're inviting people all over the country to come, and all over the world, as it was today too. And it works out for a lot of areas for that. And the other thing is, if you want a deck of the Feminine Power cards, you're welcome to go to femininepowercards.com. I just put that link and the 2 other offers we have for you in the chat. Vasi, do you want to share what you have to offer everyone?
Yeah, so I have a 20-minute session here. It's called Unlock Your Next Level of Impact. It's an intuitive breakthrough sessions where I tune into the limiting belief in the way of your next level of impact, and clarifying what that is, and giving you a message from your true self. So the link is there. It's a 20-minute session you can book into my calendar, and I would love to support you in that way if you're interested.
And there's no charge, right?
Yes. Did I say free? I thought I said
I don't
free.
know if you did or
Okay.
didn't. I wanted to make sure. And I also
it's complimentary. Yes.
I also have a complimentary Unlock Your Feminine Influence code. If you're wondering what your superpower is with regard to the feminine, and or you want to just unlock that a little more, I'd love to connect with you and just book a time. That too will be about a 20-minute. It says 15, but we will likely go for 20-25 minutes. So this plan. So you'll be on vacation in Europe. Okay. For the next one, but we'll have one in September, and on the next call, and we'll send out the replay too, by the way. If you're on our list, you'll get the replay. And the next in August, I will have an announcement of the next either play shop or retreat that's coming up. So if you want to in on that, and or you want to host it, let me know. We are looking for a host. So and it can be anywhere in the world. We'll just talk and see if it works. So I think any questions, or if you want to put contact information because you know you want other people to connect with you, you're welcome to put that in the chat. And while you're doing that, anybody want to bring up a takeaway from today or a question? Yeah, Deborah, did you have something?
I did. I just, a quick takeaway is that I had this very powerful feminine exercise around essentially clearing blockages out of my womb. And it was extremely powerful, lots of forgiveness, lots of self-responsibility. And the part that's connected is that it actually comes from an intention that I magnetize my partner, my life partner. And so that intention is leading me to, just clear the decks. And so I had not connected why it was so powerful. It's powerful because of my intention and my commitment. So that
Wow.
was an aha. So thank you, ladies.
Awesome. Thank you. And you just reminded me, August 26th, our topic is forgiveness.
Mm,
So
it's a
it sounds
biggie.
like that was a big
Yeah.
part of your process. Is that
It
right?
was absolutely.
Okay.
Thanks
Great.
for sharing that, Deborah. That was just so powerful. I could feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. And I noticed,
Welcome.
yeah, thanks, Ben. I noticed we have a couple people that are putting links there. They're wanting to connect with others or inviting connection. So if there's anyone else that wants to put your information, feel free, especially if you felt a resonance with someone, you want to connect later. We're all about connection. And I'm also, any other takeaways that you want to share from this time? Word,
I'll share.
phrase.
Yeah, Sylvia.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's interesting the timing because and the key word today, intention, because as I mentioned earlier, I just returned from a 30-day trip. It was a sabbatical, and it was provided by my company. It was a fully paid 30-day sabbatical called Off the Grid, and in spite of changes happening with my company, I put in the request in October of last year, got it approved in November, but wasn't really quite sure if it was going to come to fruition. And I was taking a big risk to put the trip off until summer because I just knew if I was going to have 30 days paid sabbatical, I was going to go to Europe, back to Europe. So been planning for these last couple of months, and everything just came out beautifully, better than I think I could have ever dreamed of. And I left, it was probably the most risk-taking trip I've ever planned, but a lot of it wasn't completely planned, meaning I bought a one-way ticket, didn't have a specific return date, and just kind of flowed with it. And days before I left, because there was a lot of different possibilities to meet with different people, or some friends were going to meet up with me, but I was going solo and met my oldest brother in Zurich, who lives there with his family. So it was just a complete adventure. And so days before, I got a little nervous, and my first stop was in Paris, and I don't speak French. So I got a little nervous thinking about the language barrier and some of the logistics and metro system and all that stuff, because we're not used to that in San Diego. But I had some experience. But anyways, I've traveled by myself before, but really just challenged myself to just drop into that space of trusting, allowing, as Laura said, and just going with the flow. And there was a lot of surprises, a lot of adventures. I had one hiccup, but it all worked out fine. And the trip ended with visiting my daughter in Quebec, flying into Montreal, and finally seeing where her and her husband live in northern Quebec. And it was just a perfect way to wrap up the trip. And so I came back feeling inspired of the power of intention. Truly, I've been planning it for months, but a lot of open-ended parts of it, and it just, so now I just feel so inspired to make this transition. And yeah, the power of manifestation.
And it
So
feels
thank
like,
you.
Sylvia, you're welcome. It feels like you being here tonight is like an integration, because you've already been in
Oh.
that energy, right? Of trusting and allowing that we've been talking about. You've been in it for a month.
Yeah.
So yeah, awesome.
And I
So-
like to say that the feminine power principles, it's like yoga. It's a practice, and you put yourself in a position to practice, them. And that's what we do here each month. We want to put ourselves in a position to practice, to discuss it, to immerse ourselves so that we can continue to practice. And we know we are forever connected. You have women who who are doing this too. You're not alone out there. You're not the only one. So we're on the path together. So I invite you to come back for sure and play with us in the feminine. Feel free to save the chat. Next to the title of the chat that says Feminine Wisdom Circles, there's 3 dots. If you click on that, there should be a saved chat.
Yeah.
So you can keep in touch with everybody and go back to that. And I will send out a link to watch the replay. And I hope to see you on August 26th, except for those who are out on their adventures, like Jessica. Where in Europe are you going?
I'm going to Basque Country to where my hubby's from in northern Spain.
Beautiful.
So practicing my Spanish and then getting whipped for not knowing Basque good enough yet.
The whole region is so beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's right in between the 2 major cities, San Sebastian and Bilbao. They're just like little 10,000 person towns. Like it's just nice to fall back in, and it's a great place to connect with nature as well.
San Sebastian is one of my favorite destinations in Spain. Yeah, you have a wonderful time.
Me too. Gracias.
Gracias. Well, enjoy your evenings. Please stay in touch, get your sessions with Vasi and I, and we look forward to connecting you between now and it will be the same link next month. Yes, exactly.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, each one of you, for bringing your
you.
presence and
Again.
your energy and your wisdom.
Thank
We
you.
look
Thank you,
forward to
Laura.
seeing
Thank
you
you,
again.
Vasi.
Thank you,
for your
Laura.
Vasi.
Bye, sister.
Bye, sister.